Hey everybody, welcome back to Minions of Habuu on Geek Spiel. Remember, if you aren't following us yet on Twitch or on Twitter, you really need to do that. Follow us at Geek Spiel. Welcome back. Again, we're an interactive group that's all-inclusive. As you can tell from the players we've got here so far, we just enjoy a good time, and we're hoping that you enjoy it as well. Now tonight, if you've been following us, you know that these guys have gone through the cultists' dungeon, and they're real close. When last we left, most of the group had shuffled their way through and found a trapdoor exit hidden behind a statue. When Robert of Zedplin popped his head up, he saw our old friends Mogamarsh and the forest gnome Copious V. Bitters standing in the burnt ruins of Fader's fabric shop talking to the fuzz. The military was not very happy with the current situation, and Robert beckoned everyone to go ahead and stay down into the dungeon while he investigated. As he got up onto street level without being noticed, he slowly closed the gate. We rejoin everyone now with Mogamarsh and Copious V. Bitters discussing the issue with the military. Copious is face down in the burnt rubble and in some kind of hand restraints. Mogamarsh, the commander of the watch, wants to know one more time what is going on. Now he wants to know what is going on. You stare blankly at him, and he is definitely not appreciative of it.
The video canceled.
No. We want to know what his problem is. Why is he asking?
You guys came up out of the burnt ruins of Fader's fabric shop, and there are dead bodies everywhere. Your mouthy forest gnome friend here says he's got some kind of evidence of the plague. I'm supposed to be guarding the exits. Instead, I'm talking to you two guys, and I want to know what's going on.
I have no idea how we got here.
That is a very good point. In your absence, you went ahead and decided to ferry off some of the information that you guys had obtained in the early portions of the dungeon. Copious V. Bitters joined you a short time later, and the two of you tried to exit up to the level where you had gained dungeon access, but found that for some unknown reason, the building just like burnt all around you. So when you finally heave-hoed with your half-work strength up through the top, A, you got splashed with water, which is the cleanest thing you guys have been doused with, and B, you found the military encircling the place, wondering what the holy heck you guys are doing here. Copious V. Bitters went ahead and spoke up first, but his annoying tone got him face down into the soot, and now he's got two guards standing on him. So the watch commander wants to know your opinion of what is going on here. Go ahead and roll a perception check for me, too.
All right. 6. Not very perceptive.
You notice you didn't roll very well, but you did roll high enough to realize you're going to need to start talking fast.
All right. I have no idea what happened to the building. Sorry.
This is the face he's giving you.
What do you want me to do? I don't know how it burned down.
You just magically appeared? Where were you?
We were underneath.
Doing what?
Exploring.
Oh, really? Are you some kind of Cub Scout?
No, I'm a spelunker.
And what were you exploring?
We were exploring the tunnels.
I see from your apparel that you're wearing cultist robes. You want to care to explain that? Are you a member of the Minions of Habuu, or what's the deal?
I'm not. My clothes burned up. I had to put something on.
Thank you very much. We've already got one problem child running around this city who tends to not wear pants, and that is extremely distracting to the general public. Once we find that guy, he's going to be seriously dealt with. Have you seen him?
I think I might have saw him a few days ago, but not for a while.
Wearing a large stovepipe hat, goes by the name of Christoph.
That's the guy.
That's what I thought. Yeah, we're still looking for that guy. So anyway, your clothes burn up and you're wearing Minions attire.
Yeah, that's all I could find. I'm sorry.
What'd you find down there?
We might have found some evidence
of
the cultists doing some wrongdoings.
I see. We being you in this mouthy forest now?
Yeah. Wish we could hear him right now.
You can't hear him because his mouth is filled with soot. Yes. He's doing his own Al Jolson impression, just covered in blackened timber and burnt up fabric. And every once in a while you hear him, to which the guards kind of grind a knee down into his spinal column, causing him to squeal like a small child and then shut up. So, show me this evidence that you got.
Here you go.
Cherries. That's your evidence. Cherries.
That's it.
Wow.
It's proof.
Dafiba, it sounds like it's going well out there.
It does. Wow.
Let's go ahead and cut to the others since Robert of Zeppelin smashed the door down on your heads. You can still kind of hear some muffling, and then you hear Robert of Zeppelin yell out, "Ahoy!"
No, don't you dare restart on my computer.
So, with Dafiba, Felix, the Lost Dwarven Cleric, and Noodle down in the tunnel, what would you four like to do?
Well, I think we better find our way out of here that doesn't lead directly to those guards.
I don't know. It sounds like it's going really well out there. It sounds like he's a very smooth talker. And we can just waltz right out with the evidence and show it. I think we'll be okay.
Or not.
Probably not.
Yeah.
But Felix thinks we're going to be...
If Felix were a betting man, he'd roll on that.
Nah, I don't think he's going to...
You hear the familiar voice of Robert of Zeppelin kind of address the guards. There's a large tumult outside indicating that maybe his sudden appearance was not a high approval rating kind of thing.
What was it that we heard him shout out just a second ago?
Ahoy! He thinks he's on
Ahoy.
a ship for some reason, yes. But
well,
there was
ahoy.
no mention of chips, so it was just straight up ahoy.
My military background tells me that ahoy is usually a friendly call. So I still think we should open this door and bust out there and see what's going on.
I'd say go ahead there, Felix. And
Well, I'm not going alone. Plus, I don't think I'm the next closest person to the door.
I think it is actually Dafiba.
I think it is.
Like I can move a door. I'm 3 feet tall.
Well, what do you hear? Can you hear anything? Can you see anything out? Or maybe through this rickety trap door? I don't know how rickety it is.
She's got some quality hearing, Dafiba. Go ahead and roll perception.
That would be a 13.
You can hear the tone of Robert of Zeppelin as he wields his way through, announcing that he and his associates have gone ahead and cracked the case wide open. Considering that Mogomarsh has presented cherries as his main basis of evidence, the bar wasn't set too high.
Who had the rest of the evidence? Because it wasn't me. I don't remember.
And he's buried in soot.
That may or may not have been my problem in presenting the evidence. Was kind of lack of remembering the evidence. Sorry, guys.
That's okay.
The watch commander will take it out on you later.
All right, so guys, I see two choices. One, we do what Felix is ever so eager to do. We just pop out of here like bad dancers out of a bad birthday cake. Or we turn around and we find our way out separately.
I want to go to her birthday party.
I'm thinking birthday party sounds really good.
Well, what did it sound like? It did. I thought it was going well. What did you think? I'm guessing that you don't think it's going well.
No, they do not seem pleased with what Mogamarsh said, and I can't hear the other guy. So from where I'm at. And I just want to remind you guys, a lot of people saw me take that gold before that building burst down.
A lot of people saw you with that gold. A significant amount.
Okay, well, what other options do we really have here? We can go back. The rope bridge is broken, so we can't get back across the bridge.
How many people are you hearing?
A lot. It's like I mean,
She can hear a mixture of conversations going on.
Can I tell how crowded it is just with townsfolk? Like, how well can I hear people moving around?
What was your roll, 13?
Yeah.
No. The sudden loss of the building in the center of the two inns will also create a radiating effect for the audio.
Does my do my robes have a hood on them? I assume.
Ooh, I would assume the cultist robes have a hood on them.
All right. Well, you guys go out first then if we're going to go out, and I'll come out last, and I'll leave my hood up. I'll stay quiet.
Robert of Zedplin, you have exited the tunnel, seen Mogamarsh struggling with some serious answers, overheard the captain of the watch question his evidence, and you also notice that Copious V. Bitters is about into the ear in soot as two guards take great delight in using him as a seesaw. As you approach, the watch commander does notice you. What do you got to say to him?
I've cracked the case.
I told you you'd say that. You've cracked the case. That's excellent. Who's responsible for this?
The witch. It's all right here in this book.
Yes,
The
it is.
book, I tell you.
Look at it.
That book?
Shh, Noodle, be quiet.
Does that
They're gonna
book
hear us
smell?
down here.
Does that book smell like cherries?
It's all right.
Because according to this half-orc, he seems to think that the answer lies in fruit.
Fruit always has something to do with the evil that goes on in this world.
I see, and you would be a master herbologist, I take it?
No, but I can read and comprehend many languages.
So,
Maybe we should-
master of languages, who is responsible for this mess?
Minions of Habuu!
The minions of Habuu are responsible for this.
They are responsible for everything!
He points out to you that you're wearing a robe from the minions of Habuu. Take this guy into custody.
I was acting!
Acting, my dear boy.
I'll take a performance check.
Oh, wait, we got one of
What are you
those?
talking about? Everything I do is a performance.
Yeah, but not all of it's good.
14. I have all the evidence we need right here. Right here. Files, a book describing and going into detail on everything about their whole plans. Everything. It's all right here. And a band down by a river.
Did anybody else see the old man who's just mumbling over here? The old
You're down the stairwell. You're not
Yeah, you're
here.
down in the stairs right now.
You can't see it.
You're gonna get penalized. Be quiet.
Still, I hear the.
You're telling me the minions of Habuu are responsible for this fiery damage.
Of course, they have brought down the wrath of some god, apparently, because look at all this. Where did it start? Over a witch's, in a witch's place? Above the minion of Habuu's entrance? I'm saying.
Dafiba, go ahead and roll perception, please.
Oh no.
17.
Yeah.
You hear a familiar, soothing voice asking someone near the trapdoor what is going on.
Bird person.
So train.
Yes, thank you. I couldn't remember her name. So yeah, I'll tell everybody. I hear So Train out there, and I'll try to listen some more.
You hear some really bad acting out into the plaza.
Oh,
It seems very familiar. It would appear to be Robert of Zeppelin droning on about some kind of bad guy who needs unmasked while his Marmaduke-like companion is rowing. Mogamarsh, for the time being, the heat is off you. What would you like to do? You've got one associate in the soot, one going off like he's accepted an Oscar, and you don't know where everybody else is because you and Copious V. Bitters have been busy for almost 3-4 hours. It appears you are the only lone survivors times 3.
Could I help Robert sing and perform?
Boy, this is going to go well.
Oh, no.
Sure. I am dying to hear this, as is the captain of the watch. Please, by all means, gentlemen, persuade me using your musical talents.
Song and
Hello,
dance. we're going to
Captain,
pursue.
my old friend. We're here to tell a story again.
You're going to be a
About
huge
the
hit in the
evil
dungeon.
of Habuu and all that voodoo that they do. Take it away, Mogamarsh.
They use cherries and bees or something like that. I can't remember the exact story.
It's
Red
time to bring them down. It's time to knock them down. We have come to bring them down. Put a stop to this evil in this town. I will raise my fist up high and say no one else might not die. We'll strike at them with our giant swords again. Yes, my friend, it is time to take out Habuu.
Bravo! Bravo!
And sparkles.
That was very good.
Do the guards erupt in applause?
No, the
Ah.
guard commander goes, hook 'em, book 'em, cook 'em.
You don't know talent, sir. You don't know talent.
Get 'em out of here.
What about my evidence?
Dafiba, you clearly hear the clump of armor and weapons. Things seem to be going poorly up top.
Okay, so guys, I think they're getting arrested, probably because Robert can't sing.
That was singing?
That was beautiful.
Oh, I thought they were murdering
Oh,
horse.
man.
Really? That was
Thank you,
singing.
Adam. I appreciate that.
So we have a choice. We can either, because I'm not sure how many guards are out there, but I know So Train is. We can pop out of here and try to stop them from being arrested, or we let them get arrested and we run.
What if we throw Noodle out there and let him figure this out?
I don't know what's ever going on.
Yeah.
I'm
Welcome
just
to
a
the
random
minions of
guy
Habuu.
sitting down in a basement.
That's why you're called Noodle.
And that's why.
Well, here's the thing: is I'm not really looking to jump out there. If they're getting arrested wearing these robes, Noodle's not wearing one. Let's throw him out there.
That is true.
I'm not wearing one either.
Oh,
We
Correct.
could technically take the ropes off. I mean, we're wearing clothing
Yeah,
underneath.
yeah.
Ah,
Just keep your
those
dress
forest
sandals
druids,
on.
man. Those guys know stuff.
Huh.
Apparently, only Mogamarsh stripped down to wear the robe by himself.
I didn't quite understand how it
right.
worked.
All right, everybody take the robes off
All right. Well, all right. Let's take the robes off.
and leave
Okay.
the other clothes on. We're not having
So
a
do
repeat.
what do we want to do?
Well, let's
All
go
right.
out.
Yeah, let's go out and
go out.
see if we can help them.
Just
Some
so
of
you know,
them
I'll be in the
deserve
back
it.
watching.
Yeah, some of them deserve to be helped.
Trapdoor opens up. You notice that it is dusk. It is cool out, although there is some heat coming in off the ruins. Whatever happened to Fader's fabric shop was devastating. That thing burnt to the ground. Probably poor craftsmanship, shoddy utensils being used, or your robes are extremely flammable, which Mogamarsh is still wearing, as is Copious V. Bitters and Robert. You see your three associates surrounded by a cadre of guards and a very dissatisfied watch commander flipping through the book that Robert, the off-key, showed.
Do they
That's his new
notice?
name.
Do they even notice us come out?
They just look at you like you're part of the looky-loos, which have gathered. Dafiba, actually,
Because
you know
my
what?
wonderful voice.
Right. Everybody go ahead and roll perception. I'll take
Oh, boy.
a 17 or higher.
Huh,
19.
that's not going to happen.
14.
I have 15.
I have
19.
A 3.
17.
Do you want mine? 19.
Yep.
Or 20.
Robert, Noodle, and the Dwarven Cleric all spot a strange individual weaving his way through the crowd. Initially, you noticed that he was wearing some kind of stovepipe hat, but as he goes around the back side, you notice that he is lacking in apparel, although he's wearing very smart footwear.
Dress shoes.
Dress shoes. He's wearing dress shoes, but he's wearing a weird kind of like top hat, and it doesn't look like he's got a shirt on. But he's wandering through the crowd. Robert, you and Mogamarsh notice that as the guards are roughly skewering you as they bind your hands. The Kenku Sotrain, who put you up to this task, steps out and goes, "Watch, Commander, a moment of your time, if I could, please." Yes, I need a word. The pair step aside. He is holding the book that Robert of Zedplin held. They discuss for a few minutes. The guards are looking up Mogamarsh, Robert, and leaving Copious V. Bitters down into the soot, while Noodle, Felix, the Dwarven Cleric, and Dafiba all approach, albeit at spear's length distance, as the guards order you back. Would you guys like to communicate between each other?
You mean us with Mogamarsh and Robert?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Hey, shut up, says the guards. I knew that one was coming. I was waiting for it. The Kenku Sotrain and the guard come back. The guard captain is flipping through it, and he points at this. Robert, he calls you over. You have been bound by the hand and feet, so you get to walk over to him like a penguin. Where did you find this?
you're muted.
I had to unbind my hand. Sorry. Downstairs in a temple.
Temple?
Yes, under the careful watch of somebody's very fancy robe.
That bottom went off, Mom.
What about this guy, the Spelunker?
He was down there with us. He ran back up to try to give notification of what we were finding as we went further on. The cherries were the first thing we came across. They would have got away with it if it wasn't for us pesky kids. I couldn't help it.
I appreciated it. So you're telling me Mr. Cherry Picker here is part of your group,
He is.
and you are not part of the minions of Haboo.
Never. We're here to find out what was going on. We did not like the evil that was
Grandpa's
going
muted.
to erupt in this town. So we were brought in to try to, improve this situation and find out who the evil real villains are.
And
So
save
like
the city.
stealing their
I forgot
clothes?
that part.
We didn't steal their clothes. We
What
borrowed
are
these
you wearing?
clothes from up top to sneak our way in. We were acting.
So you admit you were in this building.
I was not in this building. I was in that building down below where I came up out of.
Daffy, but roll a d12 against me. Let's see if you get noticed by one of the crowd members.
Ah! Hold on. Find the D12. Okay.
4.
Aha! 6.
You see a few individuals that from a few hours previously that Mogamarsh decided to push his way through in getting into Fader's fabrics. And although they don't recognize you, you hear, I saw him go in the building.
Yes!
Well, is there any other evidence? I have the cherry pickings, this book, the vials that you presented me. Anything else?
Didn't that bitter butthead have some evidence upon him?
These are closed.
If you could remove your foot from his throat, he might be able to give off a little bit of evidence. I can't remember exactly what he had.
Something important.
Go ahead and persuade the guard.
I'm so persuasive.
Maybe
Especially
you could
walking like a
serenade him.
penguin.
Through song, preferably.
Yes.
If you don't believe me, I'll sing it.
I'll believe you. That's persuasive enough. They reach into Copius's backpack and retrieve the scrolls of the plague and poison information that you recovered in room number 2. No, that's room number 5 where the Iron Maiden was. Well, how do we know you aren't infected?
Uh-oh.
We have the cure here. If one of us was to get infected, we would have cured it. That's why we have brought the rest of the cure to you. In case this infection has spread out, we can take this cure, multiply it in a CDC, and get this out to everybody that needs it.
The humanitarian amongst us has spoken.
I'm
yeah.
still trying to figure out his singing. So, were any of you infected?
Was anybody infected? I'm not sure.
I wasn't infected.
I wasn't infected. I have no issues.
Oh,
You feel
I think you've sold yourself short.
I have
Okay.
no issues.
I don't believe so.
I just drink a lot.
The only infection we have is I need more cowbell, baby.
More cowbell.
No, you
Cowbell.
do not need more cowbell. You've had more
Felix
than enough cowbell.
has a fever, and it can only be cured with more cowbell.
This Felix, does he have a fever from the plague?
No, just
No.
cowbell.
Just cowbell.
The cowbell syndrome has been spread out to the world now.
So Train points out a small passage indicating that the owner of Fader's Fabrics was listed in this Minions of Habuu book, which causes a discernible change in the guard's opinion. He calls over to the lieutenant. They go in and they search around and they pull forth the dead and charred body of the halfling that one of you is responsible for killing. I believe that individual is Copious V. Bitters. With the killer unmasked, they drag him off to jail.
He deserved it.
Bye.
Every bit.
Yeah, we're just gonna let that one go.
As he screams, he's repeatedly pummeled in the tummy portion, causing him to squeal like some type of small farm animal that tastes delicious. So, the watch commander asks where you guys are staying and if you are all together.
I'm going to look at the crow.
Crow. Oh, right, the crow.
So Train points out that yes, she has provided you lodging. She will go ahead and testify that you will be available for any further questioning if needed, although she firmly expects you to be rewarded from the coffers of Cragwitch for your inestimable ability to save this fair city under the threat of certain death by plague. The captain of the watch seems satisfied at this point in time. He's taken copious V-bitters into custody, relieved him of the scrolls, taken Mogamarsh's cherries. Mogamarsh Luden.
Mogamarshi took your cherry.
Give those back.
Uh,
You can have one.
I'm not sure it works that way.
and Robert, he's going to go ahead and take your book.
What
So,
is wrong with you? My father.
with that, they go ahead and release you to the custody of So Train the Kenku. And you are free to go. Dafiba, give me one more D12 roll against me. Let's see if we can cause a little stir here. 6.
11.
They still do not recognize you because you've got a very nice hood. Everybody do perception check. 18 or better.
Natural 20.
11.
12 plus 1.
Nope.
Robert,
One-
you notice that
20.
unusual individual. Would you like to assist the captain of the watch in pointing that guy out, or just let him be?
I noticed who again? I'm sorry.
The man in the top hat wearing the dress shoes and very else.
Heck yeah, I'll point him out.
The captain of the watch says, "Somebody get that guy," and the individual takes off running through the alleys.
Great.
with
Now
a-
we have to watch that.
Well, it's from
Hey,
behind, so
at
it
least
shouldn't be
we're
that
behind
big. Four
I can't remember very
guards
fast in those dress
t-
shoes,
take
right?
off with their spears, chasing the mostly naked individual, sprinting in his fine footwear. The Kenku So Train says, "We got to get you off the street. You got to debrief me. I want to know everything that happened. Are you going to follow her?"
Should we catch the man in the top hat first?
No,
Didn't-
I don't want anything to do with the man in the
know.
top hat.
He looks like he's on his way to his wedding. I don't want to interfere with that. Did they just
Halfway.
take our evidence with us? Or from us?
Yes, the evidence is gone, as are the extra potions that Robert of Zedpen was so prominently pointing out that he possessed.
Thank you, Robert.
The So Train doesn't care about that?
So Train's still kind of mystified as to what's going on. She knows that you guys have found stuff. She's been able to take a cursory glance at the book, but nothing else. She smelled the cherries, and there you stand.
I'd just like to say, Mr. Felix, I could have pointed out the fact that you were infected. Okay?
Not infected. This,
You were.
just
I
a
said
flesh
past
wound.
tense.
yeah, this is just a
So-
flesh wound. I am
You-
fine.
He could
we
have
had a
pointed
beat
at you with that dagger.
Yeah, that dagger. About that.
It's a
So-
dagger you could buy in any general store. I've
But
had
that-
it since the beginning.
I'm sure you may
I
have,
have
but that's
killed
not the
many
dagger I'm talking
things with
about.
this deadly
I'm talking
dagger.
about the dagger that's poking out of your satchel that looks a lot like the dagger that I found down in the
Whatever room.
Since we're
Rule number
PG-13, I'm just going to walk with Soul Train and get back to the house, okay?
I think that's a good choice.
Yeah.
So, So Train leads you back to a safe house and asks for a brief description, very brief, on what the heck is going on here. She saw the book. She understands that the minions of Habuu were, as suspected, responsible for the plague infecting Cragwitch. She
Do I need to sing it again?
No. She said she caught the tail end of you and Moga Marsh's duet and wanted to steal the dagger out of your satchel and stab up both ears in a lateral motion.
Mogamarsh is in the band now. We're on a mission from one of the.
You guys are on a mission. Yeah. So, you guys give her the brief overview, the 10-cent dime. She wants to know what to do about your gnome friend because she's not sure she can spring that guy yet.
What happens to his share if he stays in prison?
Bad things.
Hey.
No, you mean his share of the reward.
His share of the reward. I can
first.
Mr. DM, where were you going with that statement?
What happens in prison stays in prison, okay?
That would be a fair assessment. He's
Like
probably going to get shanked.
Like what happens in Africa stays in Africa.
He's probably going to find a dagger. And then Felix, the rogue human soldier, is going to want that dagger back just like he wants the dagger that Robert has. That's the direction I was going to go.
If he's wanting this plain everyday dagger, I can give him this one. I just bought it in a freaking weapons shop. I mean, he can have it.
No, I don't want that one.
Well, then quit asking.
Fine, I will.
So, she says we can go ahead and disperse it to each of you, or I can hold on to it for when he finally is released from prison if he keeps his mouth shut long enough.
Oh, no, we'll just disperse it.
Yeah.
You got to be present to collect your reward. If not, it gets dispersed out evil. I tell you
We'll
what.
get it back to him later.
Yeah.
But if it's broken up in 5 parts.
If I see him later, I'll be willing to give him his portion back.
Right.
Of whatever I have left of that portion.
So Copious V. Bitters is going to jail, and he is not passing go. His items will be relieved, and he will go ahead and spend a few days in the pokey. You guys are safe and sound in the safe house with Sotre and the Kenku, and I'll go ahead and give you the night to finally get some sleep and shut-eye. The next morning you will awake refreshed. You'll also have some suitable clothes, Moga Marsh. The others have already ditched their robes except for Robert, who, did you want to ditch your robes or did you want to hang on?
Don't you remember when they said you're wearing the robes? I ripped it off and said I was acting.
That's right. I just got lost in the really spectacular acting.
As the blood price splattered across the crowd that was saturated with it.
Also, blood splattered out of the ears as he sung.
That's true. It was a par excellence piece of acting. John Wilkes Booth couldn't have pulled it off better. So the next morning you arise refreshed. Some water, some cleaning utensils are made available to you, especially the 2 half orcs who always have a nice aroma. Food is brought to you, and Sotrain asks to speak with all of you again.
Yes, Sotrain.
Good news and bad news. Which would you like first?
Bad news.
I cannot get Copious V. Bitters out. He's apparently caused a ruckus. There was some kicking. There was some tenderizing.
Pardon me, sir. We said bad news first.
So your associate is not going to be joining you for a while. Perhaps with good behavior, he may be able to get sprung. The good news is the watch commander spent the entire evening sifting through the information and eating the cherries, and he has declared that, lo, you are heroes of Cragwitch. You have resolved it to his satisfaction. He has offered a reward for each of you. However, more bad news, he's not giving you a reward from Copious V. Bitters. He's going to use that for a bond later on. Sotrain points out that she, however, will honor her pact and go ahead and also equally reward you. So each of you is entitled to 75 gold pieces, which is pretty big currency considering how cheap the liquor is.
Sweet.
And
Liquor only cost a gold tooth.
yeah, well, and that was for 3 people. The next morning, she says you should still keep a low profile in town. Not everybody thinks you're famous or worthy of the accolades, and not too many people recognize your faces. The ones that do are probably the ones that I am told witnessed you brutalizing them by pushing away or at Fader's Fabrics, Moga Marsh, or stealing the money, Dafiba, Forest
Borrowed.
Gnome Druid.
Borrowed, saved it from being burned. It's just semantics.
It was evidence that we forgot to turn in.
Evidence. And third and finally, the singing was atrocious. The Kenku with her naturally high-pitched ears. Seriously, you've given me a headache. You two ever sing again, we'll put you on a road show, and it's not going to be here. So while your lyrics were excellent, your delivery leaves a lot to be desired. So
We're freaking half orcs. That was pretty damn good for half orcs. Think about it.
yeah,
I
know,
can give them
about it.
that actually. Yeah.
Again, she has no problem with the lyrics. The lyrics were excellent. The delivery, kind of pitchy. I'm not feeling it, dog. No American Idol fans. None. Wow.
No, dog, that's gonna be a pass for me.
Shout out to Randy. So, you guys are free to go. However, one of your major points in this was to go ahead and get enough money to join the Adventurers Guild so that you could go ahead and find higher paying jobs, get a little bit more fame and fortune. She asks if you are still interested in joining the Adventurers Guild. If so, she can go ahead and
Pardon me, before
address
we
that
get
with you.
there, did we each get the 15 gold pieces that we're holding for bidders if you ever got out?
No.
Because that's 75 divided, correct?
No, 75 each.
I know, but for bidders portion, divided between the 5 of us, it'd be another 15, correct?
Go ahead and D12 against me. 1.
She gives us all her gold.
9.
Yeah, she'll go ahead and give you safekeeping because there's always honor among adventurers.
So just to make sure one of us has something, we'll each divide it up equally so it's shared. So we all have the responsibility to make sure he gets it. So that's 15 gold added to each of everybody's 75, correct?
Sure.
Sure. Okay. I'm just making.
I'm not sure. Is your math right on that one? There's 5. And I'm counting 6.
Who's
Wait a
the
minute.
6th?
I see Dafiba,
Yeah.
Mogamarsh,
Yeah.
Robert, Noodle, Felix,
Yeah,
and
Felix.
the Dwarven Cleric.
And the Dwarven Cleric. I only count 5.
Okay.
No, wait a minute.
It's your
Thanks.
money.
I'm sorry.
Not a lot of mathematicians in this group.
Well, I count Robert.
12.5
Marsh.
each. I apologize. I forgot. I counted camera frames and not personnel.
Unlike Christoph,
12.50.
I'm not wearing shoes, so I was able to make that count correctly. So Christoph, the Scarlet Pimpernel, he wouldn't have been able to pull that one off because he's got shoes on. Classy shoes.
So we're rewarding Noodle then. Okay.
Yes, we are.
We're splitting Copious's bail money, reward money, whatever it is, with Noodle, his bond.
You're right.
With Noodle.
You're doing good. You're getting it right now.
Noodle, who doesn't know Copious.
I forget. Who is it
I
again?
think they met him once. I think
I can't recall.
Rope.
It's been a while.
Rope, we went with him.
I think he and Mogamarsh were there when they were sprung
And then disappeared after that.
quickly.
Yeah.
Okay.
To save the city. and possibly the world.
Wow. Does it hurt when you do that?
That's hard enough.
Okay, yeah, it's only 2.5 gold.
There's the statue right there. Mogamarsh, universal savior.
Okay,
So
you
how
guys
many
can start a
gold did we
religion
get?
for me. I don't mind.
No, it's a picture of this giant half orc tossing a halfling.
Knocking teeth out
Yep. At least I didn't kill one.
with a angry looking dog right behind him, waiting to feast on the innards. So you split up Copius's share, bond, bail, hopes, dreams, and dowry amongst yourselves. Would you like to head to the Adventurers Guild or wander the city for an adult type beverage again and maybe some three-hand Charlie?
Don't
Well, I'm not allowed to drink, so
and quit feeding the gnome and the frickin' rogue their bad habits. They're vices.
Not bad habits.
I just said vices.
They're just poor.
If I
at
could roll
their
better, it would be.
I want to see it.
I really, 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 really want to go sign up at the Adventurers Guild.
That's fine by me.
I also want to go too. Not because you're going, just because I want to go.
Oh,
That's my own decision, but still.
Dwarven cleric, are you in?
Yes.
So Kenku says, "Okay, well, let's go introduce you to Zog. I think you guys will really like him. She takes you through the city. Zog, Z-O-G.
It should be Zod.
Nope, no, that's Superman. That's
we're not kneeling
Mogamarsh's
before
alter
Zog.
ego. So you wind your way
He's still in
through
the Phantom
this.
Zone. It's okay.
You guys, you keep picking on him, but he did a fine job of throwing a dwarf, too.
He also did a fine job of shooting my boot.
I agree.
Yeah, and
I'm
now-
sorry. What, did Johnny Sure-Shot just complain about someone
Yes.
shooting him?
Somebody in the back of the head 3 times.
Boy, that is a big blanket you're throwing.
What can I say? I'm pretty sure that I had a torch at some point. I lit the way for an afternoon.
You didn't have a torch. You were.
I
a torch.
was the torch. That's
Yes.
right. Otherwise, you guys would be lost down there.
That's one spin. So you arrive at a very classy looking place, big brass doors, 2 humongous guards. I mean, these guys are mean looking. There's just no two ways about it. They look like they're half bear. They might be werebears for all you know. So Train walks up, gives the little sign. They push open the heavy brass doors, and boom, you are in a marble floor, really classy place. Classy. Mogamarsh and Robert walk in, gaze around, see the beauty. Yeah, we're ready. You go in, and there's an unusual looking, there's an unusual looking turtle about 6 feet tall, and he is discussing something with somebody else. He sees the Kenku approach, turns around, nods to So Train, and says, "Are these the ones?" She says, "These are the ones I told you about." He goes, "I understand you wish to join the Adventurers Guild. I am Guildmaster Zog Obi-Cat."
Zog Obi Cat.
Weird
Hobie.
name.
Hobie
Okay.
Cat.
Okay.
Toby.
Hobie
Like
Cat.
Hobo Cat or Hobby Cat?
My family has its own line of ship wax. So I understand you guys are some kind of heroes.
Well,
I don't
you
mean to brag.
know, we did a few
Yeah.
things, but
I sat in a cage for like forever.
yeah, some of us just sat in
Kind of
cages.
sad.
Had
Would
be
you like me to
rescued.
sing you a song about it?
No, don't sing
No,
anything. You're fine.
no.
You're fine. Sit back. You're fine.
I
You
take
know
those
how
not
to
to
spin
sing.
a musical yarn, do you?
Yep.
I sing a wee bit, sir.
Oh my god.
Well,
No.
Sing for a discount at the Adventurers Guild.
Close your ears. You might not want to hear this. They might start bleeding, but then just walk away.
Well, there was a few venturers who went down inside of a building. An evil witch came out to cast an evil spell upon them. They fought her off and she attacked, but they brought her down. Down they went into the dungeon to discover what's going on. The Habuu, the minions of Habuu. They're evil, they're wretched, they're nasty, they're yuck. Nobody likes Habuu. So they went on an adventure to find out who they were. They stabbed and stabbed and stabbed and stabbed and killed everyone. Set fire to, oh, no, this is a fire. The place magically burnt down to the ground. I don't know how. And then a bunch of more people died, stabbed again. Then there was another dwarf who was looking for his dad. I found him. I stabbed him. I kicked him. Yes.
He turns to the Kenku and goes, "You're right. He's awful." Okay, here's the deal. Because you guys are such heroes, and actually got us all busted out of the Dworkin district, now we can move freely about the city. Do you understand what's been going on in the past few hours?
No.
No.
Will the captain of the watch go ahead and verifying your information? He has decided to arrest every member of Habuu on site. Because of that, the information has spread quickly, and many of them have fled. Some have fled the city, some have fled into secret caverns, into the sewer system, which I think you guys are all familiar with. Right now, there is one in particular that they want, and with that reward, it would be possible to spring your fellow associate a lot of bitters or something like that. What's his name?
So what else we got
Copious.
to do then?
Copious, yeah, a lot, whatever.
All right. So if we don't want to do that one, you got something else, maybe?
There is a smuggler that has a 500 gold piece mark on his head. He's also supposed to be somewhere in the Dworkin district, and I believe he's in the sewers. So you may be able to kill two, with apologies, So Train, birds with one stone.
Do you have anything outside of the sewers?
Yeah.
Sewers are not exactly a very
Fun
friendly
place.
place.
Yeah,
There's a
what
lot of
if-
people down there that are very angry, and it smells really, really bad.
Yes,
What if
but
Copious?
No, it's not the sewers that smells bad. It's you, Felix.
Well, it's only me because I was
Finger
in the
down.
sewers and contaminated by my environment.
okay, children.
Still him.
Yeah.
It's still him. Nothing else. Just
I really think that we need to get Copious out. He may be a bit of a odd fellow.
He's
But
a little
Braggadocio.
bitter.
yeah, he did help us,
Are
and
you just saying this because he's a gnome?
no,
Mm,
That
I
guy's
see
psychotic.
some racial profiling here.
he's
mm.
kind of a
He's
what's
good
the
looking.
word?
Unhinged.
That's a good word for it. Yes. So no, I'm actually kind of embarrassed that he's a forest gnome, but he is part of the group. So I think we should take the adventure that gets him back.
I don't know. I get a bad vibe. And I'm all about good vibrations.
Oh, man, I'm going to give you an XP penalty. You're back down to first level.
At least you didn't start singing it.
There
Fair,
we go.
you're
I'm
still in
picking
second
up
level.
Gnome vibrations.
Back down to first.
Damn it.
We may have something with the Bakers Guild. I'm not sure you guys are ready for it.
No,
Felix,
I don't like bakers. No,
We're
let's
going
go back
down
to
the
sewers.
sewer. We're going to the sewer.
what's
I want to bake.
your level now?
He's hungry. He hasn't had dinner.
well, if you guys want to go down there, you are looking for the smuggler. I believe his name is Artemis Gordon.
Artemis Gord.
Artemis Gordon. And Lady
Give us a second. He's writing it down.
Lady Irena is the missing other head cleric that they are looking for.
Okay.
I have no idea what she is. Half elf, human. No clue. She will be in hiding. She may be camouflaged. For all I know, she may be invisible. Damn mages. But he does have a wanted poster. For those of you who are old, like some of us, you recognize exactly who Artemis Gordon looks like. And he's looking quite dashing. Doesn't have the top hat or the shiny shoes, but he's a good looker.
Oh, great.
Are there some time in the swamp or in the sewers gonna go against like a crocodile person, or like some mutated goldfish?
This is not Suicide Squad, son.
Sounds likely.
That's what I was trying to copy off.
You never know what you're going to find in the sewers, says a Zog Hobie Cat.
So where do we start? Who's this guy working with?
Well, there's a bar over by the plaza. kind of a rough bar.
Are you okay? You're coughing a lot. Are you okay?
Well,
Over
I'm
by the
just.
plaza.
Yeah.
Is there
I know the
gambling there?
plaza.
Yeah, there's
I was gambling at the plaza not too long ago.
Yeah, you were probably in that bar, I would have.
Uh-oh.
Felix, you go and look out. You stay outside the bar.
There is a.
Yeah.
Something's gonna happen if you go inside of it.
I am told.
Yeah, don't worry, guys. I got this. I will stay right outside the bar. I promise not to go in with these 87.5 gold pieces in my pocket.
I am
Maybe
told,
someone needs to chaperone me.
I am told
Sonny,
because
there
entering
he-
the sewer is against city policy that there may be an entrance in the back room of Lorax Nook, if you're familiar with that establishment.
Lorax, Nick. And they
Yes, It sounds familiar.
There was a murder there the other day, something with a halfling.
Oh, really? There was?
Yes. Currently unsolved. They're still working on it.
No,
Yeah,
that's
that's
not
all.
why.
Okay, so we'll head over there.
Let's see. Hey, you know what we haven't done in a while?
Uh-oh.
We're walking through an urban area. How about we all roll a d12? See if anything comes flying out the window.
Oh,
Bitters is
no.
not here to
I
receive
just
this.
got clean clothes.
7.
8.
7.
11.
9.
10.
It's a good day in the city when no chamber pots are emptied on your heads.
Hey.
You make your way surprisingly nimbly through the city since you seem to be backtracking a lot, and lo and behold, there's a charcoal outline on the cobblestones outside of Lorax Nook, but it's a really small, like halfling size, but instead of being closed out on the feet, it just kind of drags off into the plaza area. For those of you just tuning in, there was an unfortunate incident with a halfling and Mogamarsh or Felix. Which one had the halfling tossing? Mogamarsh?
Both.
That was me.
Yeah, and
Now,
there were
Felix, do
some.
you know anything about who this halfling is? I mean, you're not
Just
quite
a short,
the height.
yes. You know, we all speak
No,
our
a
secret
person
wavelengths
like
when we're
Phillips.
short. Yeah, no, I don't.
She's a gnome. She's not a dirty halfling.
Nobody likes halflings. Nobody in this town.
Mm.
However, that halfling death did help the party out by contributing 3 golden teeth to their fiscal woes. You
I hear
stand-
they started a new summer games of the halfling toss now, all brought on by this one incident.
but the gold medals are really tiny,
Shaped like teeth.
shaped like teeth. You stand outside Lorax Nook. You can go in. It's still early in the mornings. The drunk crowd is light.
It's 8 o'clock somewhere.
You open up the door. The sunlight filters in, and recognize the bartender and 2 shadowy individuals make a break for the back room.
Oh, I'm chasing.
Felix, throw something at them.
Wait, I'm in the way.
What am I gonna throw? Noodle? I don't have anything. I don't have anything in my
Use your
hand.
bow.
He's mostly halfling.
Not gonna do that right now.
Is there a local halfling laying on the floor somewhere?
No. What can
Maybe-
I do for you, individuals? Don't I recognize you, gambler?
Me?
Yeah.
No, that doesn't sound right.
Weren't you just in here yesterday?
No, it's possible it was one of my associates. See, he stole my clothes and ran off, but luckily I had a second set.
It wasn't Christoph, was it? The guards have been peppering me with questions constantly.
It may have been Christoph. Do you know where he's at?
He's running from the guards, and he better run fast because he's not wearing pants.
You know which way he went.
No. I understand his shoes are magical. Because anything
Yes.
that pretty's got to be magical shoes.
That's what I heard. I heard they were given to him by his fiance.
So what can I do for you, gentlemen and lovely forest gnome lady?
Gotta throw that in there.
He's the charmer. He's got charm. He's got charisma. His charisma is 4.
That explains a lot.
But you know what? He's got that shiny green tooth, and it's pointed right at you, Daffyba.
He takes his tongue and makes it wiggle.
Plays a better tune than your half orc does. You ever seen a magic tooth? Ha ha! It
Ever seen a magic dude
changes
before?
places.
Oh my god, you're all insane. So,
Welcome to Minions of Habuu, folks.
I don't want to talk to this guy. He's creepy.
Why don't we go after those two that ran away?
Yeah. What? Do you know why those two guys ran when we came in?
Sir, I gotta ask, do you have any gambling going on in here?
Oh man.
Did we tell you to wait outside?
Well, those two individuals that you're asking about were gamblers.
Really?
Yes, that one of their associates got pummeled nearly to death yesterday, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, I remember that fondly. Okay.
You do? I'm assuming out of game.
Yes, that was.
Because in game, you're going to get old green tooth.
No,
checking
that
you
was
out.
me. Like, oh yes, I do remember that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can we
So-
put his green tooth back in with our fist?
Well, you can try, but he's the bartender. He's also the guy in charge of the dice. You can go check on those boys. They went to the back room. They might be interested in throwing
Okay.
freehand Charlie.
I ran after him.
Like a werewolf.
You come to a small hallway with 3 doors. They went in one of them.
Pick the right one. It's always right.
Well, is Robert alone? Like you.
Robert
ran
is
off.
Alone.
We're out talking. Okay, so then yeah, he's got
Felix is perspiring greatly at the opportunity. The 87 gold is literally burning a hole in his pocket, I believe, at this point in time.
I think it is.
So yes, you notice that Robert of Zedplin and his melodic voice have disappeared into the back room. I believe Mogamarsh was yelling for Felix to shoot him in the back, which that says lawful good to me right there. Shoot a guy running for no reason in the back.
Shoot him in the back.
Wait, yeah.
Well, he wanted you to throw a halfling or shoot him in the back with your bow.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. Let's go over
see.
there and let's go follow him.
Just an idea.
Noodle and Dwarf, you have never been in this place. You have no idea why these guys are acting so skeptically. You do understand why Dafiba may be concerned because the constant winking and tooth playing is disconcerting, to say the least, especially for the fair sex of the forest gnome, who is certainly not used to the Irish spring smile this guy has.
Just let me ask you one thing, bartender. Are you from Ireland or Idaho?
I'm from Coventry.
I'm very sorry for where you live.
There once was a lass from Coventry.
Don't care.
Anyway, let's cut back to Robert of Zeppelin. You rush into the back area. There's a small hallway. There's 3 doors, one on your left, one in front, and one on the right. You are unfamiliar with 2 of them. One of them you are familiar with, and it was a urinal where you and Copious V. Bitters had a dressing issue with a drunk who provided you with some valuable information. You know that is the door on the right. You are intimately familiar with the memories washing over you.
I want to see what's behind door number 2, Wayne. Door number 2, Wayne Brady.
Door number 2? It's an alley, Bob. You found the alley out. Give me a perception check, Robert.
Stop. Stop. Okay, we're in focus. 18.
You recognize this alley as the spot where you had previously spotted those 2 individuals. Does he need medical attention?
This is I've had a lot.
Don't let him swallow his tongue. That will make sure he doesn't swallow his tongue. And the Ohio authorities are on their way to go interview Robert of Zeppelin. It's turning out to be a Monty Python skit as the cops roll in.
I'm gonna. If I look down in the alley, do you want me to do perception? See if I see him running.
Perception to the left, perception to the right.
First perception, 14. To the left.
You see a few people moving, not quite trying to hide, but not being braggadocio or singing, thank God.
Doesn't really raise my suspicions, though.
No, you don't think that it's anything unusual.
12 to the right.
You find a dog.
Oh, hey, puppy. I better shut the door.
The dog has some blood on its muzzle.
I better shut the door.
Is that a pinky? Is that a pinky in his tooth?
Well, it's not gold teeth.
Looks like a pinky toe.
And you know what? The dog has his paw over a bone that looks suspiciously like that of a halfling femur.
Oh, God.
Sounds delicious for a dog.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm the bad guy now. The halfling femur was way over the top. Got it. Now I know where your line is. I'll go ahead and.
You're just taking a little far, sir. I'm just saying.
There's a child here.
There's a child in the room, for God's sakes.
I am a child.
I don't want to play anymore.
Noodle the killer. I've offended Noodle the acid spewing dragonborn. Oh, my apologies. How many PCs are you going to blast with that acid breath there, Noodle? So you look to the left, you look to the right. Doesn't appear as though you found what you're looking for.
Nope. All right. I'm going to check the other door real quick. I think it's another bathroom, though.
Nope. This is unisex bathrooms. There's only one. This is a storage room for old empty casks of ale. Initially, you think, oh, you've hit the mother lode. But as you shake the tiny casks, you realize, sadly, with a tear in your eye, these are all empty casks.
I hit the mother lode for Defiba. She's the drinker of the group. I've seen her put ogres under the table. And that's hard to do. Her table's short.
I've watched as Defiba has hit people in the tent successfully. So, you know.
Does it look like
Mogamarsh,
there might be an entrance on the floor?
you'll have to look around.
Okay.
Mogamarsh, Defiba, Felix, Noodle, and the dwarf. You all locate Robert of Zeppelin looking through the cask ale of Nirvana. What was your roll, Robert?
18.
You do not find an entrance.
I know where it is.
Yes, you do.
Hey, group. Unisex.
Oh,
So
great.
Six
Kyle,
of you
remember?
pile into the, we'll call it a bathroom, where you find an individual who is still passed out.
Hey, he's still here.
That means he
I
didn't
mean,
clean it.
Who is that?
It is the smelly dwarf that you initially made contact, you and Copius made contact with. He has, of course, because this is Minions of Habuu, spilled the bucket of debris along the cobblestone, partially covering himself in the fluid that it had previously contained. Perception check from all of you.
Do we notice where it's draining down to?
That's the
At a
perception.
natural 19.
12.
18.
18.
A natural one with my adder, it would be a 4.
Dafiba looks in, sees that it is a bath, sees that it is currently in use, and she noticed the ceiling is in disrepair. Mogamarsh, Felix, and Robert, you notice there's a kind of stain or dampness going in one specific area, but it runs along a crease of cobblestones making up the floor.
Crease of cobblestones.
Is it like leading
it's
to something?
draining. Yeah, it's a direct line where the cobblestones should be off center. These cobblestones are in a direct line, and all the fluid is draining right here. Not here, right here.
Huh.
I have an axe. Can I take a swing at that spot?
Whoa. Before you swing.
What? Am I too hasty?
Yeah, a little
I
bit.
say go for it.
Let's go over there and tap it with the heel of our boot to see, is it hollow?
Now,
Or are you
Felix,
just
you've
swinging at
seen
stones
how a
here?
man does it. Show him how to open a door.
Show me how to open the door then. Yeah,
Yep,
it
I
worked so
showed
well
you
last
3
time.
times.
You opened it 3 times. Swing away, Meryl.
Felix, you just want to you don't want to leave this place yet. That's your problem.
Hey, don't, by all means. I'll
Felix
back away.
understands that
As it
the
is.
unisex bathroom is a great place to meet people and have a good time.
Yeah, I'm going to step out just outside the hallway door again while he's swinging that axe. I'm going to
Mogamarsh,
join Dafiba.
give us a swing.
Can I be kind of persuasive to Felix? I rolled a
idea.
19.
18.
Oh, his axe comes down directly into that line, shattering what sounds like wood underneath. But looking at the floor, you notice that it's cobblestone. But you definitely heard the crash of wood.
And a splash of pee in your face.
No, not with an 18. With a 1, he was going to cover it.
Oh, great. You broke
I'm
the
talking
stick.
about Felix. It splashed up on Felix.
Me.
No, he stepped out.
All right,
That's
team.
all
Should,
right.
in there.
should we keep swinging?
Keep
Swing
swinging,
away,
Meryl. Meryl. Swing away.
You've already started. Why stop now?
I
Should
got
we question the bartender first?
Question the bartender. The bartender's all the way back in the bar.
It's like
Swing
10
away.
feet away.
Come on,
Where the
you don't
dice-
have to say.
Come on, John Henry. Swing that pickaxe.
Those
16.
people-
Your second blow breaks the trap door entirely. The cobblestones cave in, and there's a very loud crash.
Attaboy.
The
You'll
dwarf fall
jump
in?
down there and go investigate that trench.
Nope, just his arm. Felix and Dafiba, you hear the bartender yelling, "What the hell's going on back there?"
Hey, this dwarf just crashed through the floor.
Oh, you spilled the bucket.
Out of the way, out of the way, out of the way.
Push him half in.
He comes pushing through Dafiba and Felix, and he goes, "What the hell's going on here? Why has this guy got an axe, and why is there a hole in my floor? And what's that hole in the floor go to?"
I don't know. This dwarf went crazy here on the floor, started bouncing all over the place, screaming about he was ripped off and robbed by some jackass running this, excuse my French, place. And then next thing I know, he goes running into the wall and fell straight down. And next thing I know, the floor's caving out from underneath him. His hands flopped half out. We're like, holy cow. Mogamarsh flipped out. It's like, I'm going to hit him if he does it again. And I'm like, whoa, let's calm it down here. We just need to go back to a band down by the river.
And he spilled the bucket.
Doing.
And he spilled the bucket.
And that's what I'm most mad about.
Just
The bucket.
Who's cleaning this up?
I
The
don't
dwarf.
know.
The other dwarf.
the
The
dwarf
still
is cleaning
passed
up.
out
We're using-
dwarf?
The other dwarf, yes.
I don't work here, so
I don't either. Who works here in this room?
yeah.
I would say it's
The
just foul
bathroom.
mouth.
Does this
If
place
so-
not have an attendant? No,
That's not
I
the
thought it was a
attendant on the
classy
floor?
establishment.
We had to fire them. We used to have a halfling attendant who used to pass out cologne and towels, but something happened to him outside the bar one day. And
That's weird. I thought I saw him out the back door.
With a dog.
Walking a dog. Feeding it.
Dinkus. He's feeding.
well, whatever. He's lost his job. He's not working here anymore.
Oh man.
I'll give you a round of drinks if you fix this.
Nah.
Can we get the drinks first?
I'll fix it.
I'll give 3 of you drinks first, and the other 3 once it's done successfully.
So that means the youngest one in the party's got to clean this up as the hazing, right?
It's
Come
your
on.
party.
Yeah. Standard Brotherhood rules.
Yeah, Noodle. Adventurer rules.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The bartender will give drinks to the dwarf cleric, Robert of Zeppelin, and Noodle.
I only drink root.
Phoeba, I will give you my drink if you clean the mess.
I am not touching that mess.
I'll give you
No.
2 drinks if you clean the mess.
I didn't
You're
make
not taking
the
my drink.
Noodle, Noodle, roll D12 against me.
D12. Nope. 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 Yes. 7 for him.
The dwarf is starting to rouse out of his drunk stupor, but he's still mostly unconscious.
Well, it looks like your attendant's waking up. Maybe he should clean up the mess he made.
That's no halfling.
I just spilled a little bit of beer on him. Must have woke him up.
That wasn't beer.
That doesn't smell like beer.
Maybe
Maybe it's
Pretty sure this is a
highlight.
PG-13. That's beer. That's probably ale.
It was used to be beer.
Yeah.
It used to be beer.
The
Near beer?
The dwarf wakes up,
Like it, and it was
stares at all of you, and focuses in on Robert, and goes, "I know you.
You
I
do?
know.
You
I-
do? Are you sure? I mean, if you look at me and you look at this
Yeah,
other guy,
yeah.
we
You're
look a
the
lot
guy.
alike.
You're the guy. You're the guy
Who sang a song.
that
I
pushed
sang
me
a song
into that bucket.
the whole
You
world
pushed me.
sang.
You pushed me into that bucket.
I pushed you into the bucket. How much
Yeah.
did you have to drink last night, sir? How much did you have to drink last night?
2.
I said, how much did you have to drink? 2 kegs, 2 casks. We
2
know.
beers.
That's
2
why you know.
beers.
It said every
No way.
DUI drunk.
like
Where's
Book
my
'em,
coin
Dano.
purse? Where's my
watch
coin
Cops.
purse?
We used to watch.
He's right. We watch cop shows. They always say I've only had 2 drinks. And that little
Everybody
short
says they
guy
want to.
already got nicked for stealing your purse. If you want to see him, he's down at county lockup.
I am familiar with that location. I'm going there.
Who's the drunk from Andy Griffith?
That would be Otis.
Otis.
Everybody roll a d12, see if you match me. Let's have a little fun.
No.
8.
4.
6.
9. 9.
Six.
Nobody
Six.
matches. No fun. The dwarf staggers off the best he can, and Felix and Dafiba, you two hear him go, I need
Wait, I need what?
one for the road. So he is not going to leave. He is going to continue to consume. The dwarven bartender is working with, or I'm sorry, the human bartender is working with him. Therefore, you guys are all in the loo. for those of us overseas, alone with a big hole in the floor. And
How big?
the hole?
Everything I'm looking at down in that area.
Well, you're in a
looks beyond the hole.
loo, so it's not going to be a big chamber. You guys are kind of elbows to each other. The hole, however, appears to be almost 3 by 3. If you look down into it, you can see rusted iron rungs set into the earthen core.
Guys, I
I
just
look
broke
down
this.
the hole and see if I can see anything down below there.
Well, you're gonna have to move around here. Oh, pardon me. Roll a d20. If you roll a 1, 2, or 3, you're gonna step in the urine bucket.
God, man, you hexed my dice.
You're welcome.
17.
You deftly step over the urine bucket that is spilled and mostly dried, peer down into it, and notice that there's a 10-foot drop. However, you do recognize the rusty rungs as probably being viable to go ahead and climb down.
Okay, and nothing else with my.
Cobwebs.
Okay. Well, I think we should go ahead and go down.
Yeah, jump on in.
I'm going down.
Can I?
We've got the dwarf
What do you
first. Who wants to go second?
Me.
So the two people that can see in the dark are down. Dafiba and Frank, you see that you are in a small 10 by 10 foot chamber. However, this chamber appears to be kind of 5 by 5, but there's a crumbled wall in between. So it looks like there were 2 rooms next to each other, but the wall between them has since crumbled. You see in the other section rungs going up. Both of you give me a perception check.
16.
21.
The dwarf knows that it leads somewhere, but is not quite certain. Dafiba, you would realize that this probably extends out into the alley where you guys had given chase and were accosted by the 2 former gamblers on the previous episode. So apparently the secret entrance to the sewer is somewhere out in this alley. You have found a secondary and mostly unused one. From this area, you also can see a door leading out, and that door is in front of you, kind of at an angle. It looks like the only entrance point would have been in the other room. But with the wall broken down, you can clearly move forward. Everybody else is up top in the urine-soaked room yelling, "Hey, hurry up."
I didn't hear that last part.
Yeah, you cut out there, Frank.
You guys, everybody else is up top and waiting to get down, but they can't move because the dwarf and the forest gnome are hogging the way.
I'll go ahead and move over into the other half of the room over the wall.
Dafiba?
So that door that you described, is it in my part of the room or in the part that he's in? The part he's in?
Mm-hmm. It looks like, from your perception skills, that this was to be the entrance to the sewers, but for obvious hygienic reasons, it was sealed off. You perceive that the sewer entrance would take all the fluid and debris from the alleyway and go through the other entrance down through. But from the appearance of the cobwebs and everything, it looks like this area might have been sealed off and used for possibly nefarious purposes.
Okay.
Harry, I think Otis is about to relieve his bladder in the chamber pot floor here. You guys might want to get a move on.
Well, if you're in such a rush, you get down here and look around.
I can't. There's a toadstool and a toadstool in the way.
No, that one moved, and I am moving over behind him, but staying on this side of the wall for now.
All right.
moving
Hope
out of the
that's
way.
not the side that sludge was coming down. All right, I'm going to go down.
Robert is number 3, number 4.
Sludge, I bring one.
You want to come down after me?
Oh, sure.
Noodle
Noodles
number 4. Bogamarsha and Felix, who wants to bring up the rear?
I'll go last.
All right, I guess I'm second to last.
Robert, you cannot see in the dark.
Yes, I can.
Can you? Half
Yeah.
orc?
Half arc, dark vision, 60 foot.
So Felix, you're the only blind one, correct?
I think so. I have no idea where he found dark vision.
With all of you nestled in this 10 by 10 foot broken room, Felix, rogue human soldier, points out, I'm not trapped in a box, guys. I'm just having trouble seeing. The light
Felix,
filtering
you're
in from
touching
above
food.
is not going to be enough.
No, he's touching someone's butt.
All right, guys.
Like statue butt.
I smell something down here that doesn't smell quite like normal atmosphere.
That's
I
the
know
food
I'm going to
you're
have to
standing
light
in.
a torch, but I don't think it's the best idea. What do you
I
guys
got
see
this.
around
I
me?
got this. Hold on. Felix, hold still.
I don't like this.
Hold your nose still. Rudolph, with your nose so bright, a la Monday Londoya.
My name is Inigo Montoya.
What is the area of effect for that?
Oh, it's pretty good.
You just put it on the tip of his nose. It better not be that good. Felix, aka Ray Charles, is now stumbling his way through.
Can I at least find like some sunglasses or something to put on?
Just
I'm
go
not
like this. Just go
There,
like
there
this.
are magical Ray Bans, but you have not located that.
Thank you,
This is
Robert. Now I
this-
can
this
see,
is-
kind of.
He can see clearly now. The sun is
I
up.
guess Johnny
Felix,
Sure-Shot's
your hand
not
on
using
your
this
nose
bow and
inside
arrow
out.
anytime soon.
Because you placed it on his nose, anytime he goes into physical combat for the next hour, we're going to have some issues. Johnny Sure Shot is going to live up to his name.
What did you do?
I might have
It
just
couldn't be any
improved his
worse.
name.
Maybe. Who wants to inspect the door? Who wants to inspect the other rungs?
I
I'll
have a way to
inspect the-
tone down the light if I can take a chance at this.
Take a chance on me.
Are you ready, Johnny?
Don't sing that song. I hate this.
I'm ready.
The movie
I
Mamma
think.
Mia. Literally,
All right.
everybody watches it, and I hate it.
I can only see stuff that's lit up downward, so I hope these rungs go down.
All right, I'm going to bend over. I'm going to scoop up a little mud, and I'm going to wipe it across the tip of just the top of his nose.
No, you're not
You're,
going to do that.
you're
Whack.
like
I'm smacking your-
Santa.
No, I'm not letting you do that.
Robert of Blitzen has come up with an idea.
No, there, Mr.
That's
Blitzen.
not mud.
Yeah,
Okay, Felix,
something
you're
else
gonna
that you
have
don't
to talk
want.
like this from now on.
this is a terrible idea. I'm not going to do this.
I have a suggestion. Felix, why don't you just tie a cloth across the
Yep,
your
that's a good
nose
idea.
there?
And look like a bandit. That's a great idea.
Great
I
idea.
have a red cloth
Reach
to
for
tie
the
it
sky.
on the nose.
Do
Because
you
he'll
have
still
some
get
cloth?
enough light coming out.
Wait a second.
around.
Yeah, that is a good idea. Let me see what I got here.
Put it like a
Look
red
at that. I
cloth
got some.
on your nose just to make it look more realistic.
It looks like I've got some cloth here in my, or some clothes. Let me just fashion something.
Felix, rogue
I
human
have nothing in
soldier,
here.
takes his underwear off and goes ahead and fashions a blinding device. You know what? Roll a d20. 1, 2, or 3. It's just not going to work.
You know, Felix, I'm starting to smell something strange now, too.
Luckily, it's working. 17.
17. You have fashioned it correctly, and you feel that it is the bold choice for fashion. You can see a lot of people going down this route.
So, did it light up the room, or do we need to cut a little hole out of the front like a flashlight?
I think it's going to light up enough that he will be able to see without being penalized. I think if you start carving on it, there's going to be additional issues.
Okay, I was just checking.
No,
Just checking.
I'm good. I'm good. Leave
I
me
still
alone.
have mud.
Thank
if you
you
ever
for all
want
your
to
help,
use the mud.
Robert, but I think I'm okay for now.
It's
Okay.
called tunnel mud. Tunnel mud.
I
like
don't
that.
need any tunnel mud.
Registered trademark. The dwarf notices that the iron rungs are very similar to what you guys traverse down, and they appear to go about 8 feet over. He's guessing that there's another trap door there. Was it Daphiba who said she was looking at the door? Anybody?
Nobody had volunteered yet before we moved into the other dialogue there. But yes, I can inspect the door. I have to climb over that broken wall.
It is moss covered and doesn't appear to have been used in a significant amount of time.
Okay, so we know they didn't come in or out through there, clearly, obviously.
Clearly.
Do you need me to open it?
No, we do not.
I can do the man open.
Yes, you're all very manly and can open things.
Can't.
I think we should try the rungs if they look well
I
enough
agree.
to hold us.
All right. I'll step
Look,
back.
Marsh, I got a gold tooth that says they don't make it.
So,
You have to bet on everything,
I take
Felix.
that bet.
so
Come
you're
on,
going to
man.
take the rungs
Do it.
up?
Mhm.
Who wants to go first?
I'll go
I'm
first.
standing there looking at him. I guess I can go.
Okay. Let the dwarf go.
The dwarf zips up, puts his shoulder to the covering, and gives it a heave. Go ahead and roll a d20 for me.
10.
It's good enough. It doesn't give immediately, but the second harumph, because you gave that guy a harumph, manages to push the trap door open, and you find yourself in an alley.
Okay.
Now,
Looking at a dog?
yes, the dog is looking over, rather puzzled, with a short halfling femur in its mouth.
So
Huh?
did we
Huh?
go through all of that just to pop up in the alley that we could have gotten to had we gone out the door?
You sure did.
Yep. I'm going to climb on out in the alley. I ain't going back to
Roleplaying.
You mean there was an alley? We didn't have to go through this?
I want to know where Felix got the red underwear.
It happened to be in the room.
It was in his night job.
He was wearing it.
That was the dwarf's underwear that fell down the hole.
That would explain the smell.
So the dwarf goes up the rungs. He is in the alley. Favorite dwarven profanity, as he too has figured out all we had to do was go outside and come in
Yes.
here. However, do a perception check.
Nothing.
9.
You do realize that the trapdoor was probably concealed, so you have made some advances. Not a lot. You guys
Not a
are
lot.
dorking around in a 10 by 10 foot chamber for going on 15 minutes.
A glorified urinal receptacle.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. It's the
Wouldn't say
septic tank
glorified.
of Cragwitch.
Yep.
So, with
Nice.
everybody else down in the septic tank and the dwarf up top, what would you guys like to do?
So I assume he's going to call back down and tell us.
Yes,
what
it's
he
the
sees.
alley.
Okay.
And he's found a dog.
Got a
Yeah.
dog up here and he's chewing on a funny shaped bone.
Don't touch the dog. Stay away from the dog.
It's a nice dog.
I'm gonna open that dog.
Unless
All
you're
right.
a half.
I'm gonna follow
Up?
the dwarf up. Yep.
Okay, you two are in the alley. You recognize to the establishment that you've been in.
Okay.
Is
Anybody
there
else?
anything else in the hole?
I'm going out.
Just that moss-covered door.
There's a moss covered door down here.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
I'm not there to talk you two out of it if you decide to break that door down, by the
Do
way.
it, Robert.
I don't
Show
think you can break
Show
it down.
my man breaks down
That's
a
right.
door.
He
I don't
wants you
think
to break
he's
it
got
the
down.
bones.
Don't do it.
Down the
I bet
door.
you can't
Do
break
it.
that door down.
Do
All
it.
right. Felix, I'm going to break it down, but you got to be right here with me. We're doing it together.
I'm right here.
All right.
Not going anywhere.
Let's do this then. Let's do this.
So
Woo!
I have
But
Felix,
hold on.
Bogum
Right
Harsh,
before you
Robert,
do,
and Noodle down in the basement. Dafiba and the dwarf up top. Is that how I'm reading this correct?
Yeah,
Yes.
both
You
people
break
who
that
can
door
heal
down.
are up top. Both
This sounds like an excellent plan.
heal.
Yeah.
I love this plan.
I'm
all
pulling
in.
an arrow out.
I
I'm
so
throwing
like
an arrow. I
stupid
don't trust
ideas.
what's about to happen.
I'm gonna sidestep and just pull the door open.
Yeah, I got an arrow and my crazy get up here.
I'll pull my axe out. I'm ready.
Okay, so I've got Felix
What,
with his
Johnny?
arrow, Johnny sure shot, Mogamosh
Yeah.
with his axe. Robert, are you axing for trouble or are you going to pull the door open?
You know, as soon as I pull this, not a river of slime, a river of poo is gonna come rolling out of this door.
Can I help and try and
That's
break
fine
down
with
the
me.
door
Yeah.
with my
I
axe?
have something
Alright.
over my nose. I can't smell it anyway.
Noodles wants to man up this time and break down that door. Are you going to do it, Noodle?
Yes.
Get your 20-sided dice out. I'm going to get on the rungs.
Here's the problem, though, is that I feel like I'm kind of blocking the way. So
No,
if
I'm getting on the
Noodle's gonna
rungs.
do that, I'm going to have to step back. Maybe
Okay,
I'll let
you
Noodle
step
do
back.
this
I'm
instead.
getting on the
I'm
rungs.
holding the back of your head right
Roll
now.
your dice. Roll your
While I
dice.
break it.
Roll your dice.
Now, Noodle, are you going to use a weapon on it or are you going to just
Yes, I
dragonborn your way through it?
No,
I'm
he's
using my great axe.
Is it a flint great axe by chance?
Oh,
No.
boy.
No.
Oh, that's
Are we sure?
that is so cold.
Yes.
I'm surprised nobody thought about it yet.
But
Okay,
if it does make a spark, the entire house, the entire place is gonna go.
Oh,
on
yeah.
fire.
let's see if there's a spark.
Going up. I said it was on the rungs going up. You did hear
I
that.
said,
I
I said
heard
that
you were
I'm
on the
going to let
bar.
him do it. I'm already halfway out.
Oh, no. You're down there with the bow, boy.
I'm just gonna come
No,
in
I'm not.
with my
When he
axe
said
and
he's
come
doing
in
it, I
and
said,
cast
no, I'm going to let you
something
do
at
it.
Noodle, give us a D20 roll and make
Oh,
me
man.
smile.
So this.
Yeah. 6.
So shall we start rolling up new characters or what?
Noodle backs up, takes a major league stance, and chips his axe into the stone wall, missing the door completely. A tiny little spark drops off, but the door no open.
Can I body slam it now?
I think that's an awesome idea.
Why not swing the axe
How
again?
far did I get up the rings yet?
You are right at the very top, curious as to the progress as Mogamarsh has his axe and Johnny Sure-Shot's ready to shoot the first thing he sees through there. Hopefully it's a group of orphans and nuns.
That's gonna be fantastic.
You can't see him anyway.
That's never stopped him before.
He can somewhat see now that his nose is covered.
He has actually been moving around, so the nose cover is about right here.
So,
So,
Maybe we should try kicking in the door this time.
Noodle, are you going to bash it in, or are you going
Say it again.
Are you gonna bash it in? You're gonna kick it or shoulder it?
No, I'm just gonna full on body slam one side of it, waving my arms in the air like an idiot.
Okay.
D20.
Hey, Craze. Spad this way, Spadzoid. 12.
He takes a few steps back and launches
anybody
his
pulling my weight?
scaly body in, knocking it open. It gets hung up on some sludge. DC 12 versus dexterity to make sure you don't splat your butt into it.
He rolled a
did.
natural 4. I don't think his dexterity is gonna help.
In you go. You manage to cover your hands and your buttocks in sludge. However, the door is open.
now, can I see that the door is open, or is my my nose blindfold fully up, and I hear that the door opens and decide to release my arrow into the dark, into the vast unknown that I can't see?
I will say roll a
Roll what?
D20.
Oh boy, here we go.
Nah.
7.
You see the door open, and you see movement. If you'd like to release your arrow, you can. Noodle is butt first into the soup, we shall call it, and will not be struck.
Oh yeah, I'm releasing this arrow.
Ching! You hear it, and then you hear it stop against a stone facade of some kind. You cannot see it because your mask of illumination is preventing you from seeing that far down the corridor.
He doesn't see the spark.
How long? How long was the wait from when he let go until he heard it hit?
A rough approximation, 30 to 40 feet. Daphiba and the dwarven cleric still up top side. Everybody else is down there. Noodle swears in Dragonborn and stands up, wiping the sewer soup off as best
Someone
he
who
can.
has a white shirt on. Anybody have a white shirt on that I could wipe this on? Mogamaj?
You do.
I just don't want to get it dirty. So anybody have like a teal?
Looks like you're on your own there, Noodle.
Yeah.
Noodle,
Could Felix
can you
takes
see that
his
arrow?
could Felix take his thing off and shine
Yeah.
through the door?
I'm done with this thing. Enough. Ah.
You
Can I see
illuminate,
what's going on back there now?
and you see the corridor goes about 38, 40 feet-ish and branches off left and right. Mogamarsh, using your dark vision, you can concur his findings. Robert, you can't really see because you're higher up looking down, and you are laughing at Noodle. Daphiba and the dwarven cleric, they're looking at the dog.
All right, we're gonna yell up to them and say, "Hey, we found a door,
We not
It's
only do we
open.
find it, the door is open.
and there's not bad guys."
Oh,
We opened the door. They're saying they got the door open.
Okay.
Daphiba and
Are you telling me that you want to go through the door?
Yeah.
what we're saying.
yeah.
Just we're gonna have to get some new boots after this.
They're in the sewers, what they're
The
saying.
bad guys are in the sewers. Yep.
Yeah, we found some
Ooh.
more.
They're in the underground soup.
Frank, what do you think?
New boots.
Fuck.
Do we go back down there or do we leave these guys?
I suppose we should go back down.
Okay. Fine.
Hey, bring some new boots while you're coming.
No.
Nope. My boots are fine.
Yeah,
Don't worry,
mine
Nicole,
has a hole in it.
moon boots.
Frank and Daphiba, go ahead and roll a d20. If you roll a 1, you're going to have some company.
Natural 20. Finally.
14.
Okay. No unusual visitors in the alley. You jump down onto the iron run, follow Noodle, Mogamarsh, Robert, and Felix into the tunnel. A short distance away, aka 38 feet, you come to a T. On these walls, they're made of old brick, discolored brick. It looks like the sewers were made in stages. At irregular intervals, there are openings in the brickwork where water, sewage, and other debris can come through. Your initial experience is all the openings are this big. However, that will change the deeper you go into the sewers. So who wants to lead, aka choose left or right?
Noodle.
Noodle takes the lead, still covered in fecal matter.
We're
Which
going to
way
call
would
it
you like to go?
Poodle now.
Nice. Poodle.
Ah,
I am poodle. I am
Time to
poodle.
write something down.
French.
So, Noodle, do you want to go left or right?
Right, because right's always right. In some cases.
Unless it's left.
Yeah.
Wise choice. Everybody, DC 12 versus Constitution. This place thinks to high heaven.
12.
19.
10.
10.
10's
10.
a loser. 10's a loser.
Plus 3. So 10 plus 3.
11.
Oh, Constitution, I had a plus 4. so
11's a loser.
14.
14's a winner. So Felix and Dafiba, are you the only ones?
Yep.
You guys will be fighting at disadvantage on your first altercation. Yes.
Like, this is because I have soggy boots. I know it.
It's actually because of the fumes down here in the sewer. Noodle, you're leading the party. Everybody in front of Felix is getting shadowed. Noodle, as you turn the corner, you come to a dark room with a single ray of light penetrating the chamber. The smell is just hideous, and you spot a few shadows moving towards the back.
Is that Mr. Hanky, the Christmas poo?
I don't know. It sounds like it. But just in case, I'm going to grab Felix and just turn him in front.
Whoa. Take your hands off me. I don't trust you anymore.
Do you really want me to put my hands and then carry with my feet? Or do you want me to carry you with my hands?
No, I don't want you. I'm not.
You have poo on both. It's not going to matter.
Yeah.
You're not touching me with those poo-covered hands.
And as you put your face in him, you're going to be blinded.
Yeah.
So while you two are doing the Christmas waltz,
I'm going to go around him.
who is number 3?
No, I was number
Robert, you notice the shadows come forward, and these shadows are human beings, although in very poor condition, both health-wise and appearance-wise, but they are brandishing broken furniture at you. Get out! Get out!
Is it an old man? Is it an old farmer? Or Frank?
Whoa. Calm down. We're just a health inspector.
Whoa!
Vagrants are always happy to see the health inspector.
Do you have any pest problems? Are you okay? You feeling all right?
Get out! We don't want any of your pain.
You don't want our pain? What pain?
You guys are from above. I don't want your pain. Now, perception check Robert, perception check Noodle, perception check Felix, who is now illuminating the entire.
Natural 20.
18.
And Noodle?
19.
Yes.
All 3 of you notice there are women and children, also, all of equally dirty status, all appearing malnourished and in poor condition. It appears as though you have stumbled upon a homeless camp.
Is it a fun homeless camp or a sad homeless camp?
I think it's a sad one.
Both guys.
They're all sad.
Is it like a fun homeless camp where we learn how to make a fire with only a few sticks and a butt?
Yeah, no, this would be a really depressing homeless camp.
Whoa. Are you guys
How
all
is
right?
that?
Are you guys all right? Is there a problem here, sir? Are you guys, are those your kids? Are you guys hungry?
We just want to be left alone.
How about some rations?
You've proven your point. I don't want to be hit anymore. Just leave us be.
Well, do you know anyone named Christoph?
Do you know anyone named Santa? That's his owner.
We don't want your problems. We just leave us alone.
How about
Can
a
you
little bit?
solve my problems though?
Stop. How about a little trade for a little bit of information? Nobody ever has to know we were ever here.
D20.
14.
What do you want?
Don't trade us long, Robert.
These people have suffered enough.
Use your gold.
All right, Moog. If you say so. It's not the same without your harmony backing me. So, and I don't want to breathe in too much of this. Whatever. How about some? I got some. Couple days worth of rations here. Some food, maybe. A little food.
What
I'm
do you
just
want?
looking. I'm wanting to know if you've seen anybody running through here that's not normally down here.
You mean like the cultists?
Yes.
Yeah, they were here.
Were they here? Did you
Yeah.
see which way they went?
Well, out of my good eye, I did.
Okay.
Okay, so he knows half blind now.
Yes. So, that sounds pretty good. Here's a day's worth of rations so far.
He gingerly takes them from you and tosses them back to the women and children.
And did they go?
No, they're civil about it.
No, okay.
There's-
I like the other way, but
Yeah, they're werewolves.
The Max
The werewolves have
Savage
eaten the
guy.
rash.
He is so hyper tonight.
We've got a plastic sack you can use on your colleague. You just hold it tight.
wins one baseball game and has some ice cream, and this is what you get.
That's
Hey,
parenting. That's a
Robert.
parenting issue.
No, I won the league game.
Robert,
I
ask him.
everyone.
Ask him how long ago they saw him.
I'm going to pull out another half day's worth of rations. How long ago was this that you saw them?
Why are you holding it like a chip?
It's a ration, shut up.
Nice.
Info first.
That's torturing.
Info
You're
Couple
torturing the
hours.
old.
About
Right
an hour
about
ago.
daybreak.
right around daybreak lately. Okay.
How'd you know it was daybreak?
The sliver of light.
I
There's
didn't
a
even know.
hole in the road ahead or
Okay.
above us.
Ask him about
Have you seen
Artemis.
anybody that happened to look somewhat like a cleric running through here?
You mean like a cultist?
Different robes. Not so dark, a little brighter, other than the poo stained bottoms. No,
No.
nothing. Nothing.
Not-
Robert, this isn't going anywhere. You're just wasting our rations.
These are my rations. Back off.
Yeah, I know. I was going to pickpocket them from you later, but I didn't want you to know that. These are our
Yeah, I'd
rations.
like to see you roll for that one.
I am very proficient in that.
All right. Anybody else have
Ask
any
him.
other questions?
Ask him about
Anybody else
Artemis.
want
What's his
steel
face?
Artemis Gordon.
Artemis Gordon.
Have you
Sorry,
heard that name?
He said that he saw them go, but he didn't tell us which direction.
That is correct. He did
High
not.
importance.
If I'm not mistaken, there's only two directions, left or right.
That also is accurate.
So they had to go on
So
the other.
which way did he go? It should be a very simple conversation.
Left or
So
right.
they went back the other way then, correct?
Yeah, he went the other way.
Oh, come on.
Yeah,
I
I
got,
got-
I got punched in the face here. I'm having trouble focusing.
You got who punched you in the face?
The clerics, the cultist guys.
That doesn't sound like them.
Can I take it? When I find him, can I grab the short or long hair and just pummel them? Just go, like a hacky sack?
He's gonna pummel them for you to repay you.
Is that
Oh, I thought he was going to pummel the
Do I
homeless
have to
guy.
grab the face and like?
No, he was talking about the call. Here's another half day ration.
I appreciate your kindness. It is rare.
Any other
Yes,
info
they-
you could release? I got one more days for you.
They're tough.
That's not good enough. I ain't that
They're
easy going. You should ask the gnome. I ain't that nice.
What gnome? I got you, a dragonborn, and a human blaring a flashlight in my face. I can't see squat.
Are you blinded by the light?
I am blinded by the light. Yes, I am.
I got references for days. All right. Well, thank you for your time. We'll be going now.
That's
I have that
reference
last
number
bit of ration?
51, if you know.
Yes.
What?
Can I have that last bit of ration?
Have you seen my band?
Let's roll them for it.
I tell you what. You gamble the Felix. If you beat him in a roll, dice roll, I'll give you the whole day's ration. If you
Bingo, let's
don't,
do this.
You get no
Three
ration.
hand Charlie?
Sure, whatever.
Sure. I
I'm
don't
just
know
getting the
three-hand
ration
Charlie
out, so
is.
if I know Felix, I got to give it to you.
How many is that?
3D.
2?
3D20.
All right.
$25.
I as well have 25.
Your gambling sucks.
I know. What are the odds of
That's
that?
why it never goes gambling.
You know,
Apparently
I would
1
say.
to 1.
Double or
If you
nothing.
do odds-
Double or nothing.
Double.
Apparently, Felix is putting in his bid.
There are no ties in life. There are no ties in Three-Hand Charlie. Let's do this.
One of the ladies behind him says, "You can do it. You can do it, Steve." Steve, the homeless guy.
Well, Steve, you did it.
Yes, Steve did, because Steve got
My first two were a 1 and a 2, so
37.
yeah, I rolled a collective 10. That was 3d20. Yes.
Johnny Sure Shot strikes again.
Well, here's my quarter piece I'm giving. He's giving you the other
No,
one and a
no, you're
three-quarter.
giving him the half of rations that you were withholding.
No, you're true. I will give the half.
I
You
believe
owe
it
him
was
the second
double or
amount.
nothing.
No, it was double or nothing. These
It
aren't
was
my
double or
rations I'm
nothing.
gambling. These are
Oh,
your
no,
rations.
no.
Yeah,
I
that-
gambled the first round, chump. You brought in the second round.
Give him.
No, I did
the
not. That
rations.
was the rules. It's double or nothing. You were the banker. Give him your other half of rations. I'm gonna steal them from you later anyway. It's not a big deal.
You can go ahead and try.
All right, fine. I'll
He
give him
won't
my
need
half
to.
of rations.
He
There
won't
you
need
go.
to try if you just give them to him so we can move on.
Felix hands over the rations.
Yes.
A small child steps up and gives you an old key.
No, he doesn't because he just said no. He did not hand over the rations. I gave the rations.
It goes to Robert.
It goes to Robert.
Great. We want Robert to have the key.
I
Great.
have
Robert.
a key.
Robert has an old
Yeah.
black
There's a
iron.
key that would jam in a wall and then shove it halfway in.
What was that? Iron key?
Black iron key. And looking at the clock on the wall, this looks like a good place to stop as we venture deeper into the foray into the flow with our search on for the rogue cultists. We'll go ahead and close tonight with another great big thank you and another. Hey, follow us on Twitch, follow us on Twitter, keep up with us, give us some feedback, let us know what you like. Do you like Johnny Sure Shot? Do you like Noodle? Do you really like Moga Martian Roberts singing? If you do, mental health facilities are available for your needs because this is not mixed. That's how those guys sound. Again, just thank you. Remember, tune in every Tuesday right around 9 p.m. We're going to be doing this slapstick comedy until these guys are all dead and buried. But until then, hey, everybody, let's tell them bye.
See ya.
Oh,